Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom, and today I'm taking a look at the mall at Fox Run in Newington, New Hampshire. As always, I'm asking the question, is this a dead mall, a dying mall, or is it doing just fine? In my opinion, at least at the time I visited the mall, it was right on the border between dead and dying. But if what I've read is correct, that may be about to change. Now come along with me and let me know what you think. This mall opened in 1983 as the Fox Run Mall, and until sometime around the early 2000s was pretty successful. The original anchors were Penney, Jordan Marsh, Filene's, and Sears. Today, not surprisingly, the only remaining original anchor store is Penney. The mall was originally owned by the Equitable Life Assurance Society of New York and managed by Jones Lang LaSalle until it was purchased by Simon Property Group in 2011, at which time it was renamed to the Mall at Fox Run for who knows what reason. Simon owned the mall until the end of 2017. Spinoso Real Estate Group then took over in 2018, and the mall was then sold to its current owners, Torrington Properties, in August of 2023. If you've watched my other New Hampshire mall videos, you probably know that most of the malls in New Hampshire are doing pretty well. This mall, on the other hand, at least at the moment, is clearly not doing that great, as I think you'll probably agree. One of the main reasons that most of the malls in New Hampshire are doing so well is that New Hampshire has no sales tax, unlike all the other neighboring states. Therefore, they tend to draw in a lot of customers from out of state trying to avoid paying sales tax. And this mall is only 3 miles from the state of Maine, so you'd think this mall should be full of shoppers, right? On top of that, this mall is only 5 minutes from I-95, which is a major interstate highway, and it's located in a very touristy area, which should mean even more shoppers. Also, the next closest major indoor malls, the mall at Rockingham Park and North Shore Mall, are over 40 minutes away by toll road and almost an hour away if you avoid the toll road. So I have to admit that I'm kind of puzzled as to why this mall isn't doing better, other than the usual suspect of online shopping. But if anybody has more insight into this, please let me know in the comments. Also, there's a lot of vacant stores in this place, so if anybody knows what used to be in these spaces, please let me know that as well. And then straight ahead, we have our first and only vacant anchor store in this mall. I think most of you can probably tell what that used to be without me telling you, but yes, that used to be Sears. So the Sears was located here from opening day up until early 2019, and I believe that the Sears building was sold to the mall's current owners, Torrington Properties, for $11.5 million in 2022, a year before they bought the mall itself. Whether there's currently any plans to do anything with this space, I don't know. I wasn't able to find anything about it online. And don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more mall walkthroughs coming up. Thanks. The sign in here says Coming Soon New Life Community, which I assume is a church. This was filmed a few months ago, so I'm guessing it's probably open now, most likely. And for those of you wondering, this was filmed on a Monday at about 4 p.m. And yes, this mall is dog friendly. While this mall is definitely a dying mall and possibly a borderline dead mall in my opinion, it seems that there is a possible light at the end of the tunnel. From what I've read, many people have high hopes for this mall now that it's owned by Torrington Properties. I don't think I've ever been to another mall owned by them, so I'm not really familiar with them as a company, but they don't seem to have a bad reputation like some other mall owners do. Not surprisingly, they seem to want to turn this mall into a mixed-use property, which generally means adding apartments, office buildings, restaurants, and entertainment, rather than just traditional retail stores. Whether this will happen, or if it does, whether it will be successful, remains to be seen, but I think most of us will probably agree that if the mall continues with business as usual, it's not going to survive. But of course, let me know what you think. Here's a familiar sight on the right, a vacant Hollister. This store on the right is called Foxed Goods. I'm assuming that's a reference to Fox Run Mall, or the mall at Fox Run. And then straight ahead, the only remaining original anchor store, J.C. Penney. And I have to say, this entrance here is pretty impressive. It almost looks like a spaceship or something alien. It's kind of weird. Like, that's an alien's head right there on the ceiling. So he has two eyes, and then the J.C. Penney's his mouth. Very odd looking, but I do like it. Here's the food court, and I have to say the open restaurants to closed restaurants ratio is not very good here. I'm counting 2 open restaurants and 5 vacant restaurants. That's not good. Alright, so what's the deal with the giant chair? I read online that originally this mall had 80 plus stores, and that recently it was down to 60 plus stores. But I'm seeing a lot of vacant spaces here, and I didn't do a full count of how many stores were actually open, but it seems like there's a lot less than 60 here. This is where the original anchor store Jordan Marsh was located up until 1996, when it became the Macys Men's and Home Department. There's a Macys Women's Department here as well, but that's in the former Filene's, which we'll see in a minute. It's strange, a lot of the stores here seem to still be in business, yet they're not open, like this one here and quite a few others that we've seen. So again, this was filmed on a Monday around 4 p.m., which generally stores are open on Mondays at 4 p.m., so I don't know why all these stores are closed. And I think that's probably the first Brazilian Jiu Jitsu place I've ever seen at a mall. No matter how many times I see it, it always feels weird to see cars inside a mall. And then here's the Macys Women's Department, which was Filene's up until 2006. Ooh, looks like we got some water damaged ceiling tiles here. That's never a good sign. And as always, let's take a quick walk through the WoW Arcade, see what's going on in there. And as usual, there's nobody in here. Shocking. They do have a fair number of actual video games here, which is nice to see. A lot of these arcades tend to have a lot of claw machines and things like that that are not actual video games, but yeah, this one's got a good selection. Got a classic machine here, but it's out of order. And then this was really weird. This apparently used to be like the back room at whatever the store used to be, and they've just stuck more games in here. Never seen that before. And there you have it. That's the inside of the mall at Fox Run. And I have to say, it looks pretty dead. You could probably make an argument that it's dying and not dead yet, but it's pretty darn close if it's not dead yet. But, of course, let me know what you think. And don't go anywhere yet. Next, we're going to do a drive around of the mall and see what it looks like from the outside. One thing you don't have to worry about at this mall is finding a parking spot. Here's the Macys Men's and Home, which, as I mentioned, was Jordan Marsh up until 1996. This is the old Sears building. Here's what it used to look like. Here's the J.C. Penney building, and like with most J.C. Penney buildings, I would bet this has not been updated at all since opening day. Does anybody know what that restaurant used to be? It looks vaguely familiar to me, but I can't place it. And then finally, this is the Macys Women's Department, which was Filene's up until 1996. And as you'll see, the entrance here is very much the original Filene's entrance. They're very distinctive. They don't make them like that anymore. It almost looks like the bow of a ship. And there you have it. That's the mall at Fox Run in Newington, New Hampshire. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more mall videos coming up, as well as store walkthroughs, and of course, flea markets. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.